Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sarah here for another ink swatching video, and I'm just deciding. So these are, ooh, I can speak English gooder. These are the samples I picked up at the Melbourne Pen Posse meet, the August one that I was able to go to. I always take samples and we do swaps, and it's awesome. And what I'm thinking is, so these three samples here, these are greyish inks, and I was chatting with my pen friend T. She's in a bit of an exploration of grey inks at the moment, and I'm just kind of thinking out loud about whether I don't swatch those three now and actually try and do a bit of a grey ink swatching video, which I think could be kind of fun. So I think that's what I'll do, because I'm also filming this before work, so I don't have endless time. So what I'm thinking maybe, so let me have a look here. That's a grey. So we've got this one, that one do next time. Probably could have done this before, hey? Maybe I'll do those 4. Yeah, I've got 7. So why don't I do this? We're going to do these 4 now, and these 3 I'll either do in a separate, I've got 8, in a separate video, or kind of try and put together a bit of a grey ink swatching video. If a grey video is something you'd be interested in, let me know in general anyway. All right, I'm going to try and do 5. So we have a purple, a couple of greens. So, all right, aren't you glad all of you had to work through that with me in real time? I could have just done it off camera, but then that would seem put together and smooth and streamlined, and that is just not how I roll. So first up, we have Yunjingtang Lu Shan. I'm definitely mispronouncing these. I apologize in advance. I also don't really know much about these inks, so we're going to really discover in real time. I have done my swatch cards, but because I wanted to go into this kind of blind, I didn't really look at them too much, if that makes sense. I didn't think about the ink. I was like, I'm just going to do it and then move on to the next one. So I have the cards and then chat about it more with you guys here. Still working out, spacing, but we'll just go for it. I also have still lost my blotter paper, so I'm just using some spare paper I have as like a bit of a barrier. I'm not entirely sure when this video will come out, but it's August. It's like the second week of August here when I'm filming this. I am still working out if I'm able to do 30 inks. I think I can. I think, oh, I'm going to pause and go, look at that. Oh, that's such a cool color. So when I did my 3 Robert Oster Muddy videos, I was saying that, oh, I got water down here. I've been a bit kind of almost like lost with greens. I thought I would really love them and I just haven't been drawn to them. But this kind of grey, green, muddy, muted, grungy green, I think, is where I'm finding what I like more. So this is it's almost like a brown green, and as it dries you can see the truer green a little bit there, but then as it pools it's that dirty kind of, not dirty, muddy brown coming through. And even in that brown, the brown brings in like a little bit of warmth, which is really interesting. So this is Yun. You know what it kind of reminds me of, but a darker version, is kelp tea. In kelp tea, and I'll see if I can find the swatch, how it has that kind of green, but then there's like almost like a brown overlay. That's kind of what it reminds me of now. Let's see. I haven't even told you guys this. Inspired by Karina Loves to Plan, I've reordered all my swatches to be in brand order, and I like it. So this is different green, different brown, but can you see how you can see both colors? They mix together, but they also kind of separate. You can almost see little bits of that there too. So yes, I am still redoing all my swatches so I can have them kind of like this, but I have reordered. She did a video, she kind of went through her setup, and the paper one that Karina keeps, she does in brand order, and I had originally had mine in color, but across 2 books, and it actually wasn't working. I go, oh, but how is this one this, or what's a brown and what's an orange? And that's why I'm really liking it in this alphabetical. So it's alphabetical in terms of brand name, and then, you know, for the diamond inks, if there's 12 diamond inks, they're alphabetical also, and that's why I'm really liking it. Okay, the first one. Next up, we have a Kobe ink. This is number 28, Cesarean Green. So this looks like a lighter green, almost like a bit of a, might be a touch light to be a forest green, but there is like a leafy kind of lusciousness to it. Where am I? Don't even know if I'm in the picture. What I haven't done before as well is I'm going to go rogue, and I'm not going to go kind of down the page. Could be a disaster. Could be fun. What was I saying? Oh, about 30 inks. I think I can do it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to film a video every day, but I thought maybe I could do like daily on Instagram and then do like a weekly recap. So do like 4 videos, like 4 weeks. It's a pretty massive task doing a video every day, and just knowing what my life is like at the moment. I don't think it's feasible, and I don't want it to turn into something I can't enjoy either. So I think that's where I'll do, and it means I can still be involved and love it, and I still definitely watch, but I think that's where I'm going to go. So this green is beautiful. This is like a rich, smooth, I said it's not forest. I don't think it's dark enough to be a forest green, but maybe in here where it's going to pull, but definitely it feels that kind of nature, leafy, grassy type color. I don't know if it's because of how I put it down, but not really getting any shading or variation there, which is totally fine. It's interested always to see how it feels on the nib. So I'll write down here. It feels nice, not crazy wet, like it's not running away from me or anything. Cesarean. Definitely looks darker in the writing sample. This is just a fine nib, but I think you can see like a richness there to it, which is really lovely. This could be just I'm always looking for inks that are really legible for work, and I wonder if that could be a contender because it's also dark enough that it's quite formal. I just keep getting drawn to this up here. I really love that, but really beautiful ink. I wonder if you looked at it next to Alt Gold Grün, what that would look like. I think Alt Gold Grün might be a bit lighter. I might as well, now that I've said it, let's have a look. Yeah, it's a bit lighter, so a darker version, but that richness I think is why it's brought that up to mind. All right, 2 down. Start work in 15 minutes. Can I do 3 swatches in 15 minutes? I've already been rambling on for 9. So let's see. All right, I'm not really doing these in any particular order. Next up, this is Sailor Ink Studio number 335. Now when I wrote with this at the meetup, I was like, oh, love this, loving purples at the moment. So super excited that I got to take this swatch home with me. Let's come up in here. I'm writing at the moment with my August currently inked with 252, and I've got it in my Pens by Casey, and it's an extra fine nib, but I am just loving it. It's such a beautiful color, 252. But 252 can move to the side for a second, because look at this gorgeous, gorgeous purple. Now, the issue with not kind of swatching down the page is now I'm trying to do this one without cross-contaminating, because that's still wet. But we will get there, hey? We will get there. Wow. All right, quit while you're ahead. That was to me, not to you guys. I don't want you guys to quit. I'd love for you to finish watching this video. So, I mean, show me a Sailor Ink Studio ink you don't like, first of all. But that to me is just a gorgeous, bright purple, but without, like, sometimes I find really saturated inks I move away from because they're almost too much, whereas this for me is punchy and vibrant and has attitude, but I'm not turning away from it. And you can see the hints of blue coming through there. The lighter bits are really gorgeous. I don't know, as soon as I wrote with this at the pen meetup, I was just absolutely drawn to it. I think I probably only have like 1 ml. It's a small sample, so I'm definitely thinking about, oh, what do I put it in, you know? But it feels Ink Studio. It just feels gorgeous. But here, there you go. What pen would you ink this up in if you had a choice? Because I think I'm really only going to get one fill from what's in here. What would you put it in? Let me know. They actually look quite nice together. All right, spacing wise, what if I go like one there and one down there, I think? So let's go this guy next. We'll do another Sailor, and then I have a Van Diemen's. This is Sailor Shikiori Miruai, Miruai. Oh, I didn't clean my syringe. Can you see as that Sailor ink is drying? Look at it's just gorgeous. I think it's so beautiful, and I'm just not usually, usually it's like, oh, I want all my things to be like this and muted, and I was rambling on about oversaturated stuff down here. Have I done that entire swatch with it not in frame? I'm so sorry if I have. Oh, God. All right. Ooh, this looks like a really deep, dark teal, and it's like, I don't know if you can see, but it coats the vial, which I'm going to say means I reckon it is going to be a sheener. Definitely learning that about inks of late. I watch how they coat, not so much the vial, but how they coat the dip pen. And even like, see, I don't know if you could see that, but it hangs on to the syringe there. And something I've noticed is, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, Doi, that's really obvious. But you can tell the super thick ones, is it viscosity? Like the thickness of the ink, you can just, I think is really obvious. I don't find it as obvious on a brush. Sometimes not even actually in the vial, but on that dip pen, I find it really obvious. And even looking like that, it hasn't really wanted to spread, like I haven't got these tiny little things. It's kind of just wanted to like stay put where it is. Oh, I don't really like that. How can I fix that there? Oh, and I have cross-contaminated, but that's okay. So this is a super dark, I actually said teal, didn't I? But it's looking quite green at the moment, to me at least. Interesting to see how it dries. I'm going to say it's a really dark green. Not really getting much shading or anything. It's funny, it looks quite, oh, there you go. I'm going to show you. It's actually, it just wants to be on that vial, on that nib, kind of blobbing around there. Don't look at that bit. That's a bit of purple, unfortunately. But how about I write in here? Shikiori. What did I say it was called? Miru. I thought I was going to see lots of sheen, and maybe it's still too wet, but I'm not seeing tons actually. So, I may have been wrong there, but like my water, like usually when I dip into a pen, into this pen, right, into a vial, when I clean it, the water doesn't really change color because not much goes onto here, but I'll just show you, like it's gone completely green because that ink just wanted to stay on that vial. So really interested to see, oh, there is some sheen coming. So I'm calling this a really dark green, maybe with a hint of teal, but I definitely think it leans green. And then over the top, it's just going into almost like a green black where it's pooling. It wrote nicely coming out of the dip pen. I just thought it was going to straight away kind of jump up with sheen. It hasn't. I definitely think there is some there coming up. You can see it drying in there. Is it a brown sheen, I think? Just trying to see how it catches the light. Why don't I shift this for you? I don't know if you can see it in the light there. The bits of brown sheen coming through. You can see it down there a little bit. But let's swatch the last one and then we can come back. Maybe it's dried. So, and I'll just keep looking at the time. 8 minutes, guys. So, this is Van Diemen's June, so it's a limited edition. This sample's given to me, and most of these were actually from Pen Friend T. She bought the bottle of this one, and so I was lucky enough to get a really chunky sample, which is awesome. I have only tried a few Van Diemen's inks. It's a brand I'm really wanting to explore more. But the couple that I've tried, I've really enjoyed, being Black Tongue, Spider Orchid, and the Tassie Seasons Summer Wineglass Bay. I really loved writing with that one actually, which is a punchy blue, which surprised me that I loved it so much, but I really did. So definitely an ink, brand that I'm wanting to explore more and more. I'm not sure why I just haven't reached for them up until now, but it's on my list to look at. But I'm also trying not to spend money at the moment, so maybe I end up kind of making a bit of a, I don't know, Christmas wish list, or wait, to my birthday next year or something like that. So is that maybe this should have been in my greys. It's wow, is it like a brown grey? I don't know how to describe this ink. I kind of want to describe it as silver. I'm going to say wow. Has anyone done chromatography of this ink? Let me know, because I think it would be really interesting. It's grey, blue, and brown, I think. Let's see how it writes. I wonder if that will make it obvious. Van Diemen's. It hasn't made it obvious. June. Okay, I think it's a grey, but a brownie grey. I didn't know that was a thing. Did you know brown grey was a thing? But then I can see the bits of blue. Let me know in the comments, does it make sense when I say I want to call it silver? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Wow, really, I'm so intrigued by that ink. I'm a little bit lost for words. The writing sample is still legible, so I think you need to find the right pen, but it might not be too light, which is good. But yeah, it's not even a warm grey. It's a brownie type grey that is super interesting to me. I haven't really seen an ink like that before. So that's so cool. These 5 inks are from that I was lucky enough to pick up at the Melbourne Pen Meetup in August. Just being careful because some of it's still wet. So up the top we have Sailor Ink Studio 335, a really beautiful, somewhat saturated purple. As it's drying, I'm getting some black haloing in there. In the top right, we have Yunjing Tang Lushan, which is like a muted, grungy, browny green. And actually, look where it's pulled. There's actually, you can see the warmth of the brown coming through, which is beautiful. In the middle, we have Sailor Shikiori Murai, and it has now, as it's dried, there's quite a bit of brown sheen coming across the top, a super dark green. In this bottom corner, we have Kobe Ink number 29 Suzuran Green, a really just lovely green, not much shading, but you're getting some quite nice black haloing down the bottom there. And then last but definitely not least, Van Diemen's from their limited edition series, the month of June. And calling it a grey, it definitely reminds me of silver, which is really cool. I can't wait to see how these bits dry in there, but you can see the hints of brown coming through. So how amazing is that? 5 inks that are completely new to me, haven't explored before, really loving what I'm seeing. And then I still have 3 more from this pen meetup that I am thinking I'll do a bit of like a grey exploration swatching video, and I might include those in that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. As always, if you can hit like and subscribe, it helps my channel out. Let me know what jumps out at you. Has anyone tried any other of the month limited edition Van Diemen's, or Van Diemen's in general? Tell me what I should be exploring, because it's definitely a brand I want to get to know a bit more. And I will stop rambling and start my workday. See you later, guys. Bye.